measure its length. I could measure that it has a length of 3 units. But what about something like this square? Well, when I'm measuring the size of something like a square, I do it by using area. How do I do that? Well, if we take a look at this square, we could think about covering it with smaller squares of a set size. We call these small squares 1 unit square. Now we can see how many of these unit squares fit inside of our big shape. Then all we need to do is count up the unit squares to find the area. For this shape, we could count it takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 unit squares to fill the whole shape. So its area will be 9 square units. Let's look at one of these together. Let's say we want to find the area of this figure. Well, what would we call each of these little squares? We call each of these little pieces 1 unit square. And how can we use unit squares to find the area of this shape? To find the area of a shape, just count the number of unit squares inside of it. How many unit squares are in this shape? Well, we could count all of the unit squares in this shape. If you did this, you would find that it has an area of 20 square units. Here's another problem to practice with. What is the area of this figure?
Okay, boys, look, to find the area of the shape, like regular shapes, all what we need is to count how many squares inside it, or it depends on how many shapes inside it, like squares, rectangle, or triangle. It depends. Here we're gonna count with squares. Saleh, how many squares inside the shape?
25.
25. Are you sure?
24.
24. So the area of the shape is 24 square units. Okay?
Well, my advice when you're dealing with a complex shape like this is to break it into sections so it's easier to count. We could first focus on this green section right here. How many unit squares are in the green section? You can see there are 8 unit squares in the green section. Then we could choose to look at another section, like this one. How many unit squares are in the red section? You can see there are 8 more for a total of 16. Then we could count up this yellow section. How many squares in the yellow section? There are 8 more. And so when we put all of that together, we get that the area of this figure is 24 square units. Now it's time for you to practice on your own. What is the area of this figure?
Stop this video and ask Omar. Omar,
Yeah.
what is the area of this figure?
How many square?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 25.
25 square units. You have to say 25 square units. Okay. This is the area. Yeah, this is the area of the figure.
All you need to do to find area is count up the unit squares. If you count all of the unit squares in this shape, you will find that it has a total area of 25 square units. Now
Let me tell you a very simple trick to count how many squares, or to know how many squares without counting. You know, we're gonna count how many squares in one row and how many squares in one column. Let me count. Look here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 squares in one row. And look how many squares in one column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 squares in one row and 5 squares in one column. If you remember times table 5, 5 times 5 is going to be 25. So the answer is 25 without counting.
that it has a total area of 25 square units. Now here's your last problem for this video. What is the area of this figure?
What is the area of this figure? Yazan? Yazan, this one for you. Jason, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So what is the area of this figure? How many?
23.
23, sure?
Yeah. You said 22.
Saleh said 22. Is it 22 or 23?
23.
Saleh said 22 and you said 23. Let's check.
This is a complex shape, so I'll break it into sections. In this green piece, I see 12 unit squares. In this red piece, I see 6 more, for a total of 18. And in this yellow section, I see 4 more, for a total of 22 square units in this figure. Today you learned how to
So Saleh is the winner.
find area by counting unit squares.
Thank you for watching. Now let's open the book, please. Page number 651. 651. 651.
I want to add.
Muhammad, number 1, count to find the area of the figure. Each unit square is 1 square centimeter. This figure, what is the area? 10, they are 10. So there are 10 unit squares in the figure. So the area is 10 square centimeters. So let's write that here 10. 10 squares in the figure, then the area is 10 square centimeters. Write it. If you remember, 1 centimeter is in your ruler, like from here, from this point to this point is 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter long. If you use your ruler to know the lengths. So this length is 1, 1, 1, 1. So 1 squares, its perimeter, if you remember, is equal to 4. But here, the area is different from the perimeter.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mr. What he's saying.
Question 2, Usama. Usama, read, please. Count.
Okay, count to find the area of the figure. Each unit square is
Square, each unit square.
is 1 square
Centimeter, centimeter.
centimeter. Oh,
Again,
okay.
again, read this word again, centimeter.
Centimeter.
And the abbreviation of this word, this word is cm. Okay, centimeter. How many squares inside this figure?
20.
You count it?
Yes.
You can do it without counting. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, and here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 times 4 is gonna be 20.
Teacher, I counted.
You can do it without counting.
Yeah, but I count. I count.
No problem, but I'll tell you very simple way to find the answer without counting. Just count how many squares in one row and how many squares in one column, then multiply them together. Thanks, Usama. Your answer is right. The area is 20 square centimeters.
Mister, this lesson is easy.
I know. Ali, Ali,
Yes, teacher.
Yali, in number 3, what is the area? It's 10.
10 square.
10 square centimeters. 10 square centimeters. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In figure 2 and 3, we count by square centimeters. But in 4 and 5, it's a little bit different. We're gonna count square inch, square inch. And inch is the other side in your ruler. In your ruler, we have 2 scales, the first one for centimeters and the second for inches. Number 4 is wide, as you see here. Count to find the area of the figure. Each unit square is 1 square inch. So 1 square inch is different from 1 square centimeter. Ibrahim. Muhammad.
Yes.
4. How many square inches?
1, 8.
8 square inches. Omar.
No, wait. Yeah.
5. How many square inches?
6.
6 square inches.
It's the easiest math in the world.
I know.
I finished that math is my favorite subject.
Let's open the next page. Use a diagram. Yazan Ghamdi, please read that.
Okay.
Use a diagram. Use a diagram.
Use a diagram. Danny is placing tiles on
Tiles.
tiles on the floor of an
Office lobby. Each tile. I said it. Tile. Each tile.
Tile is 1 square meter. The diagram shows the lobby. What is the area of the lobby?
Yes, Yazan. Yazan, what is the unit here? The unit here is square centimeters, square inch, or square meter for each tile.
This means it's 12.
He said it's 1 square meter. Look, 1 square meter for each tile. Each tile here like this one. This is the first tile. You know, in your room, you'll find this tile on the ground. You can count it on your room. Can you count?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
There are 12 tiles?
I have a lot.
Okay, I know. But here, how many square meters?
It's 12 meters.
Here, for this figure.
Yeah.
12? So it's 12 square. Look, right, square meters. Done?
Finished the class. Everything.
Wait. Usama,
Yes.
go deeper. Number 7. Angie.
Angie is